Welcome. This is a product overview of ComplianceForge's annual update subscription for the Cybersecurity Standardized Operating Procedures, the CSOP, in its SCRP version. Over the next few minutes, we will walk through what the subscription delivers, how quarterly releases work, and how updates integrate with your customized documentation. The CSOP is editable cybersecurity and privacy procedures with one-to-one mapping to SCRP standards and SCF controls. It comes in both Microsoft Word and Excel formats, and it is GRC importable, supporting CSV content imports. It is based on the Secure Controls Framework, mapping to over 200 laws, regulations, and frameworks, and it provides quarterly updates to keep you current on evolving cybersecurity and privacy requirements. The CSOP annual update subscription delivers quarterly releases of the Cybersecurity Standardized Operating Procedures, SCRP version. The CSOP provides the procedures that operationalize the policies and standards in the SCRP, with a one-to-one mapping between the two. This subscription keeps your procedures current as the SCRP evolves and as new framework guidance emerges. Procedures are the how layer of cybersecurity documentation. They define exactly how standards are implemented in operational practice. And because procedures reference specific tools, cadences, and roles, they drift from current practice faster than policies do. Quarterly updates help your procedures stay aligned with current operational expectations and framework requirements. A note for existing clients: the CSOP rebranding to align with the SCRP is reflected in subscription updates starting with release 2026.1 in April of 2026. The CSOP subscription is a 12-month update subscription for existing CSOP clients. The CSOP is updated on approximately a quarterly basis to reflect framework evolution and lessons learned from customer engagements. Each release reflects updates to the underlying frameworks, new regulations and laws added to the mapping, and improvements derived from real-world customer engagements. To be clear about what it is not, this is not a standalone purchase of the CSOP itself, and it does not cover other ComplianceForge products. To purchase the CSOP for the first time, see the CSOP product page. This subscription delivers updated, editable Microsoft Office-based documentation templates on a quarterly cadence. Like the underlying products, there is no software to install, no agent to deploy, no account to provision, and no cloud environment to configure. Every quarterly release delivers updated Word files, compatible with Word 2016 and newer, Microsoft 365, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, and Google Docs. Each release is delivered as a secure box link via email. Downloads include an errata describing what changed in that release, so you can efficiently apply updates to your customized version. Subscriptions deliver approximately 4 releases per year, timed to reflect significant framework revisions, new regulations, and lessons learned from customer engagements. This delivery model is intentional. Each release arrives as editable Office documents that you can diff against your customized version, review, and apply on your own schedule. Without an active subscription, organizations face a predictable pattern of procedure drift. As the underlying SCRP policies evolve, new regulations are added, and lessons emerge from real-world audits. There are 4 challenges the subscription is designed to address. The first is SCRP policy evolution. The CSOP procedures map one-to-one with SCRP policies and standards. When the SCRP is updated quarterly, the matching procedures must also be updated to maintain that mapping. Without subscription updates, your CSOP drifts from the current SCRP version. The second is operational practice drift. Procedures reference specific tools, cadences, and roles, so they drift from current practice faster than policies do. The third is audit drift. Auditors expect to see procedures aligned with the current policy framework. Documentation from a prior version may cite superseded control IDs, obsolete NIST guidance, or missing requirements that were added after your initial purchase. And the fourth is missed improvements. ComplianceForge incorporates improvements from every customer engagement into subsequent releases. Without the subscription, you miss clarifications, new supporting templates, and procedural enhancements that existing subscribers receive automatically. The subscription addresses each of those with quarterly releases structured for efficient update application and synchronized with the SCRP releases. First, it is synchronized with the SCRP. Each CSOP release aligns with the matching SCRP release, so your procedures and policies stay in lockstep and the one-to-one mapping is preserved automatically. Note that this subscription applies only to the CSOP version of the SCRP, not to both, and not to the SCRP itself. Second, a detailed errata with every release, identifying every change, which makes it possible to apply updates surgically without re-reviewing the entire document set. Third, a stable document structure. Section numbering, control IDs, and outlines remain stable release to release, so your customization effort stays portable. And fourth, same-day access. Once subscribed, you receive each quarterly release within 1 to 2 business days of its publication. A CSOP subscription purchase entitles the subscriber to 12 months of updates from the purchase date. Here is what that includes. The quarterly release files. An updated Microsoft Word version of the CSOP per release, all supporting annexes and templates refreshed, and a consistent document structure release to release for stable customization. The release errata. A detailed errata document accompanies every release, listing every added, removed, and modified procedure, and identifying SCRP mapping updates and new regulations added. Delivery and access. An email notification with a secure box link per release, under a single entity license. No account provisioning is required, and prior releases remain accessible throughout the subscription window. And the subscription scope. Approximately 4 quarterly releases, limited to the CSOP. If you also own other ComplianceForge products, such as the SCRP, the RMP, or the VPMP, those are updated under their own individual product update processes. ComplianceForge targets approximately 4 releases per year for the CSOP, synchronized with the SCRP releases. Releases are typically labeled by year and release number. For example, 2026.1 through 2026.4. Timing is driven by significant framework events. Major NIST revisions, new privacy laws, PCI-DSS updates, and other regulatory changes. Not every quarterly release contains large changes. Some are primarily incremental improvements and clarifications. Larger structural releases are less frequent, but deliver significant value when they occur, typically coinciding with major framework revisions or significant operational guidance updates from NIST or other authoritative sources. Each release flows from SCRP policy updates through ComplianceForge content updates, errata documentation, and box delivery. Within 1 to 2 business days of publication, subscribers can then apply procedure updates surgically, using the errata as a guide. That preserves your customization effort while keeping the documentation aligned to the current SCRP and framework versions. When you customize the CSOP, you invested time tailoring procedures to your organization, your roles, your cadences, and your tooling. Quarterly releases are designed to preserve that effort while delivering procedural currency. Each release ships with a detailed errata document that identifies every change since the prior release, including added, removed, and modified procedures, mapping updates, and new supporting templates. Rather than diffing the entire document, you apply changes surgically, using the errata as a guide. And ComplianceForge deliberately avoids structural overhauls between releases, which keeps your customization effort portable. If you want a hand applying updates or tailoring documentation, ComplianceForge offers optional professional services. They are not required. The 5-hour bundle may be beneficial for companies that need some guidance on getting started. The 10-hour bundle is for companies that need additional guidance on tailoring their documentation to meet their compliance requirements. And the 20-hour bundle is for companies that need robust services beyond just 10 hours. Purchased professional service hours expire 120 days, or 4 months, from the time of purchase if unused. Hours are intended to supplement, not replace, your own customization work. Why does an active subscription matter? Procedures that drift from current operational expectations are a predictable source of audit findings, control failures, and operational confusion. An active subscription keeps your procedures aligned with the current SCRP and the underlying framework landscape without requiring your team to manually track every change. For most organizations, the subscription cost is dramatically lower than the internal effort required to research framework changes, rewrite procedures, and verify mapping accuracy every quarter, especially for organizations that face multiple compliance obligations or operate in regulated industries where audit readiness is continuously required. Finally, the renewal process. The subscription runs 12 months from the date of purchase, and it does not auto-renew. Toward the end of your window, ComplianceForge will notify you by email with the option to renew for another 12 months. Renewal is optional. If you elect not to renew, you retain rights to all releases you received during the active subscription window. You simply stop receiving new releases from the date the subscription lapses. And resubscribing later is always possible. You would resume receiving releases starting from whatever the current release is at that time. And every release ships with a published errata. As a note, the Digital Security Program was rebranded to the Security, Compliance, and Resilience Program at the beginning of 2026, which is why there is an updated naming convention. The erratas apply to the SCRP, its corresponding CSOP document, and the bundle. Each one provides a summary of what has changed between versions, so you can review exactly what changed before you apply an update. If you have any questions, please email support@complianceforge.com or call 1-307-241-8740. We've been helping organizations since 2005, and we are always happy to help.